Welcome, sports fans. Here we are at beautiful downtown Bloomington, Jefferson Gymnastics Hall. The girls are ready to go. Tonight's match again with the Bloomington Gymnasts is against St. Louis Park, and the girls are adapting well to this new environment in the COVID situation. We'll give you a little bit more update on that in a second, but tonight's rival is a long one between St. Louis Park and the Bloomington teams. They've been squared off many times before in meets, and we're excited. We're looking forward to a great competition tonight. The format is going to be a little bit different tonight. The varsity team will be going on the events first, and you'll see all of the varsity rotations, all four of them in a row. And then we're going to be broadcasting all of the JV events immediately after. So don't treat it as two different events. It's going to be one long, continuous gymnastics meet, but all the varsity competitions will be at the front, and the JV competitions will be at the end. So we're looking forward. Coach Matt Norris is over on the vault, where the varsity team will be starting their first rotation, and he's getting the girls all warmed up, as are Kristen Gorman and Erica Jarnes, the two assistant coaches for the Bloomington team. So thanks for joining us here tonight. We'd also like to take a couple minutes to thank the crew from BEC-TV. They always do a wonderful job, and without their hard efforts, we would not be able to bring this competition to you live the way we are doing it tonight. So thanks to all the guys up in the control room, Tom Ringdahl and all of the putties that are up there working hard for us. We appreciate it. And we're just momentarily getting started here as the girls complete their warm-up rounds on the varsity vault. The other thing that's kind of interesting about the meet this year is the judges, the four judges that will be working all of the apparatus. Immediately after this event, will jump in their cars and drive immediately to the St. Louis Park gym and watch their team and score their team. And then the scores at the end of both meets are tabulated to find out who the winner of the meet is. So quite a bit different, where both teams used to compete together in the same gym. Now they're competing separately, and the scores are merged together at the end of the meet. Here's our first vaulter. Beautiful vault. We've got freshman Renee Pichet. And for those of you who aren't real familiar with vault, the girls each get to go twice on the vault, and there are 5 competitors that will go, and they count the best 4 scores of those competitors. So Renee Pichet just started the competition out. She's a freshman for the Bloomington team, and she will get one more vault, and then the judges will just simply take the best of the 2 scores. It's not an average, it's the best of the 2 scores, and that one will count towards the total team score. So again, Renee Pichet, it looks like she got an 8.2, a very good starting score on that first vault. So she's got to beat an 8.2. Here comes freshman Renee Pichet. Little stumble on the landing, so I think her first score is probably going to be the better of the 2 at 8.2, but a great start for the Bloomington team. In the background here, you might see some competition going on the uneven bars, and that is the JV team that's competing. But we're going to, again, we've got this being recorded, and we're going to come back and give you the audio highlights of that right after the conclusion of the 4th rotation of the varsity. So stay with us. They've got a lot of exciting things coming on here. So it looks like Renee Pichet got a 7.9 on that second vault, and I was correct. Her first score of 8.2 is the one that's going down in the books for her. So good job, Renee. Here we've got senior captain Liz Joyce. Liz has been a great leader for the Bloomington team. A lot of younger gymnasts on the team, and they look up to these senior captains with good leadership skills for guidance and encouragement. So we thank Liz Joyce for all that she's done in that area. And here comes Liz on her second vault. Oh, nice. A lot of height, a lot of power on that vault. She got an 8.2, it looks like, on the first vault. So we'll see if she was able to beat that one. I think she did. That was a very nice landing she had on this one. Now we've got Ava Bycan. Ooh, good stick. Not any bobbles on that landing. That was a great job for sophomore Ava Bycan. Notice as I'm looking at this lineup, there's only one senior in this vault lineup, and that was, we just saw Liz Joyce, but this Bloomington team has got a lot of young talent that will make this team really strong. Here comes Ava Bycan again. Looks like Ava got an 8.3 on the first vault, so we'll see if she was able to beat that one. Next, we've got Danielle Mahacek. Danielle is a junior, tough competitor. Here comes Danielle. Wow, a lot of speed. Wow, very high difficulty move there. That was a tough vault. Another thing that's interesting on the vault is the gymnasts do not need to do the same vault twice. They can mix it up. They can try one that's harder or easier if they want. If they didn't like the way that that the mat was, or the springboard or the mat was treating them, they can try a whole different type of vault on their second one. So we'll see what Danielle chooses to do here, but her first score was quite good. Right now I see one of them at 8.2. So a lot of good scores here in the low 8 ranges. So getting Bloomington team off to a good start. Here comes wow, that was second one for Danielle. She got a lot of height on that. Couldn't quite stick the landing, but she had a lot of power, a lot of height. And because of the difficulty of that, I'm sure she'll get a very respectful score. Last on the rotation of the vault for the Bloomington team is sophomore Gracie Roy. Judges are momentarily posting the score for Danielle Mahacek. It looks like about a 7.6 or so on that last vault. As we get ready to see sophomore Gracie Roy on her first vault for the Bloomington Jaguars. Here comes Gracie. Oh, a nice soup. Whoa, she stuck it. That's going to be a great score. That's what you want your last person in the lineup to do, is come in there. It's like a cleanup batter in baseball. Just come in there and just nail one. So great job for Gracie Roy. It'll be interesting to see if she does another souk or whether she might gear it down. Sometimes when a wow, 8.830 I see up there. That's a super good score. A lot of times if a a vaulter gets a really good score on their first one, they'll back it down and do something a little easier just to reduce the risk of an injury. Looks like, again, a great score for Gracie Roy at 8.8. She strategizes over there with assistant coach Erica Jarnes, who was quite a gymnast here at Jefferson many years ago. Her and the Jarnes sisters created quite a dynasty of gymnasts here in the gymnasium. Now they're back to coach and score keep and help with the dance routines. So it looks like Gracie Roy is just going to take the first great score she had of 8.8 and no need to do a second one and risk injury if you get a really good score on the first rotation. So that will do it for the varsity vault. And I think we're going to cut into the cameras now on the JV team who's finishing up on the uneven bars. We're looking at Liz Joyce on the uneven bars. And she's wow, good job. She's a senior captain, and you might have just, remember you just saw her on the vault, so they're kind of skipping over and doing rotations on different apparatus, but you will be seeing again all of the complete JV lineup go in case some of them were blocked out by the varsities things. We will be replaying that all at the end of the meet, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Now on the bars, our last competitor is Ava Bycan. And you just saw Ava too on the varsity vault. Getting more than your money's worth here tonight on BEC-TV. You're going to see some of these athletes twice in the same event. So it's exciting to watch, and these meets go awfully fast. These girls are good. They get their job done, and they move on. So here's Ava Bycan, sophomore, on the uneven bars. Good job for Ava Bycan. Funny story about some of these athletes. Coach Erica Jarnes had them share some of their funnier stories that happened in the past, and Ava told Erica that last year she forgot her leotard when she went to sections. She actually had to share another garment with another gymnast. So that was Ava's. Tell it all and laugh about it later. I bet it wasn't funny at the time, but it's pretty funny now. So that does it for the JV uneven bars. And it looks like they are going to be setting up for the second rotation here in a minute, which is going to be the varsity team on bars and the JV on vault. So we'll take a little break in the action. Don't go away. We got a lot of exciting competition coming up here from the Bloomington Coliseum. Stay tuned. Welcome back, sports fans. We're back here at beautiful Bloomington Downtown Coliseum. We're ready to see the Bloomington team compete once again. This time we've got the varsity team on bars. And a quick draw of the lineup here. We got Maddie Bryan, who's going to lead us off, followed by Paige Fabian, then Anna Matson, Gracie Roy, and Danielle Mahacek. So we've got 5 very, very strong competitors here. And if you remember, they count the 4 top scores, and the bottom one does not get counted. And then those top 4 scores will go against the top 4 scores later tonight that are posted by the St. Louis Park team. So here we've got sophomore Maddie Bryan ready to show us what she can do on the uneven bars as Coach Matt Norris gets ready to spot her, as is Erica Jarnes. Kristen Gorman is going through the routine with her at the last minute. So here we go. We got Maddie Bryan underway. Wow, good dismount. Not even a bobble on that dismount. She stuck that thing right into the mat, and that keeps about points from dropping off. Usually on a bobble, you lose about 1/4 of a point, maybe a 1/2 a point, and her feet just stuck into that mat. So a good job for Maddie Bryan. Now we've got Paige Fabian. She's a senior. Paige is new to the team, came from club gymnastics and has offered, her services. She's a great, great competitor, and we're going to see some of that right here on the uneven bars. Notice how her toes are super pointed, keeps her legs straight, all the things that get extra points from the judges. Wow, very, very solid routine for Paige. A lot of good encouragement there from Coach Matt. So very, very solid job for that routine. And it looks like we've got Anna Matson coming up. Anna Matson is a junior for the Bloomington team. So she too's got another year. One of the strong upperclassmen leaders on the team. A lot of encouragement coming from the stands from her fellow teammates. Takes a lot of core strength to do these moves on the bars. Keep those legs from hitting and those feet from hitting the mat. Good job for Anna Matson. And let's see what Anna had to say about her funny story. It looks like, oh my gosh, she crashed her car 2 weeks after getting her license. That sounds like one of my daughters. Probably laughs about it now, but again, that probably was not a funny story when that first happened. A good job on the uneven bars for junior Anna Matson. As we get ready, we got to do a little adjusting for the next competitor, Gracie Roy. Gracie, as you recall, did just a great job on the vault. She got 8.83 on the vault. So that was by far the top score. a great one. That's going to be a tough one for anybody on the St. Louis Park team to beat. Looks like we got about a 6.4 on that last routine for Anna Matson, as Gracie Royce salutes the judges and jumps up to the low bar to start her routine. A lot of energy in that, a lot of speed in those moves. She gets up on that high bar and does a great dismount. It's a good fist pump from Coach Matt. The other assistant coach, Kristen Gorman, is no stranger to the gym. I remember the name. I remember Kristen competing. She was on one of the teams here with my daughters, and quite a competitor. And I understand she's a great coach and very well liked, so we thank her for her hard work. The last competitor we've got here for the Bloomington team on the uneven bars is Danielle Mahacek. She also had a very good score on the vault. And as you know, there is a special award at the end of a meet for the best all-around. So those athletes that compete varsity in all 4 events, the top score for that athlete is the all-around meet winner, which is quite an honor. Some equipment adjusting here. All of the athletes tend to start their mounts and their dismounts a little bit differently to keep their routines different. And it looks like Danielle just saluted the judges and gets on her way. Wow, there's a nice giant. Look at the toes pointed. Ooh. Little deep on the dismount. Almost took out the judge. Good routine. We'll see what kind of score Danielle gets on that. Went a little wide and deep on the dismount there, but the rest of that routine was just spectacular. Okay. Let's turn over to the JV vault here. Oh, nice job. Okay. That was Paige Fabian on the vault that we just saw. And as we mentioned earlier, Paige came over, she's kind of new to the team, came over from club gymnastics as a senior for the Bloomington team. So that was her, you just saw her second vault. We'll get a whole replay again of the JV competition at the end of the live meet. But you got a sneak preview of how good she's going to be on her second vault. So it looks like we just concluded the second rotation, and we will be back in just a few minutes with the varsity team on beam. So do not go away. Don't touch that dial. We got a lot of hot excitement coming up next on BEC-TV. Welcome back, people. We've got a lot of exciting sports competition left. We're right now we're on varsity beam. We're starting off with Paige Fabian. Senior is having a real good meet so far tonight as she gets ready for her balance beam routine. A lot of good encouragement from her teammates over there. She pulls off a very hard stunt on the beam. Wow, very good job for Paige, and a special award. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's a pink mat on the wall over there that they call the Stick Club, and if they make it all the way through their routine without falling off the beam, they get to write their name, and there she goes, writing her name on the Stick Club roster. And of course, the coaches bribe them. If they get to a certain number of people on that stick list by the end of the season, they get free pizzas. They have a pizza party or cupcakes and stuff. So there's always an incentive for them to make it through their routine without falling off the beam. Remember, that beam is only 4 inches wide. It's a long ways off the floor. It's pretty scary up there, especially when they're doing some of these more advanced routines. And now we are going to see Katie Edmonds, who is a freshman for the Bloomington team. Wow, very good move there. That's a very difficult move to make a full spin on the beam. Let's walk over. Fall there. The fall will cost her ½ a point off her score. Split jump, helicopter spin. She gets ready for her dismount. Wow, good job for Katie. Again, that's Katie Edmonds, who happens to be a softball catcher, I'm told, with a huge gunning arm. She can throw that ball 100 miles an hour. And apparently, I don't know the story behind this, but apparently broke another girl's arm running into second base. So Katie's quite a multi-sport athlete and just showed us a pretty darn good routine on the balance beam. So that was Katie Edwards, followed here by Anna Matson, who's a junior. The judges confer on their scores here, and they need to be within a certain range. They have 2 judges on each event, and they run their scores independently, but then they share them, and they've got to be within a certain range. Otherwise, they conference and figure out who missed something or how they were low. But here is Anna Matson. Very nice spin move. Walk over, just a little bit of a bobble, but a very, very difficult and good move. Oh, beautiful there. Not even a wiggle on that landing. Another good move. Has the makings of a very good score here. Oh, perfect. And a dismount, stuck it. Wow, great job for Anna Matson. Big high five from Matt, Coach Matt. And again, rushes over to that stick wall. You can see her signing her name. It's like signing an autograph over there on that trophy wall. Put another name on there, one name closer to that big pizza party coming at the end of the year. Next, we've got Danielle Mahachek. Danielle just showed us a great routine on the varsity bars there a little while ago. She's having quite a meet. We'll see if she can keep her streak going here on the balance beam. And again, all of these girls wrote down something about them or something funny to share with us. And Danielle actually made head coach Matt cry. I'm not sure how, but she says she made him cry. And here she is up on the balance beam. Plenty of hard moves in this routine for Danielle. Like that one right there, a back walkover, handspring. Wow, 2 in a row. Very nice job. That is a really, really difficult move. And on a 4-inch beam. Oh, couldn't quite hold it. She'll only lose a half a point on that. It's not too bad, but she's got a really good score going here. Good dismount as she salutes the judges at the end of her routine, and we'll see what kind of scores she gets on that one, but that's going to be a good one. A lot of difficulty in that beam routine, those back walkovers. Our last competitor is going to be sophomore Gracie Roy. Gracie's also having a terrific meet. She showed us a really high score on the vault. She did great on the bars, and I'm sure she's got some really difficult moves planned in for her beam routine here. So we'll see Gracie in just a second. In the other room, the JV team is doing their floor routines, and again, that's all being recorded. We'll come back at the end of the show and go through each one of those with commentary, so make sure you stay tuned as we watch Gracie Roy, the final competitor for the Bloomington team, on the balance beam. It looks like, by the way, Danielle Mahachek got a 7.25, a very solid score on her last routine, as we watch Gracie do her spin moves. Setting up for a back handspring. Oh my gosh, a back flip. Wow, that is a very, very difficult move there. Good job. Dismount. All right. Another name going on the stick club wall at 3 out of 5 this time. That was excellent. The girls really did a nice job. And that will do it for the varsity beam routine. And we'll be right back here at BEC-TV. We'll take a little break and we'll come back with more exciting action as the varsity from Bloomington hits the floor routine. Don't go away. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Renee. Renee Pichet on the floor for the Bloomington Jaguars. All right, there's a good job for Renee Pichet, the freshman, leading off here for the Bloomington Jaguars. Pretty exhausting by the end of that third pass that they make. There's a lot of energy that needs to be poured into those routines. As we get the stage set here for senior captain Liz Joyce. We asked some of the girls, or Eric asked some of the girls to describe something funny about themselves or describe about something funny about a teammate, and they said that Liz does not break up with her boyfriends. She turns more like Carrie Underwood's before he cheats into reality. So I don't know what that means, but that's what the teammates described for Liz Joyce. So here she goes with her floor routine, senior captain. Wow, good height on that pass there. Wow, great job for Liz Joyce. Getting a lot of encouragement from her teammates, as she should. She did a wonderful job on that routine and sets the stage for her teammate, Paige Fabian. Paige, too, again, is a senior for the Bloomington team. She gets her last minute stretches in before she gets ready for her routine. It takes the judges a few minutes, extra seconds to do the scoring on the floor routines. There's quite a few more scoring criteria to evaluate, and then again they have to correlate scores and check them. If they're not within a certain range, they need to figure out why. So here we go with Paige Fabian. Good job for Paige Fabian. She walks off the mats, salutes the judges, and comes back to her teammates who are high-fiving and giving her a good elbow. So here we've got two competitors left. We've got junior Danielle Mahacek and sophomore Gracie Roy. Two competitors left in the Bloomington lineup here. See Erica Jarnes over there talking to the girls. She's doing a lot of the work on the choreographing of these dance routines. You know, there's a lot of extra artistic work that needs to be put into the timing of the gestures and the dance of these floor routines. A lot of athleticism. There's also a lot of dance and artistry involved. We're going to see a little bit of that here with Danielle Mahacek. Great job for Danielle Mahacek. She's pretty happy with that routine, and she should be, as she comes back over to the area where the rest of the competitors are and gives Gracie Roy a little fist pump. And Gracie is the fifth and final athlete in this varsity floor competition. And as I mentioned earlier, all 5 of the athletes compete, and then the team score is based on the top 4 scores of those 5 competitors. So Gracie Roy will be the anchor person for the Bloomington Jaguar team. And she's just a sophomore, so she's got 2 full more years here at the Bloomington program. A lot of height on that pass. Good job for Gracie. Good job for Gracie Roy. It looks like she's limping a little bit. I wonder if she must have maybe twisted her ankle a little bit. A little help over there from Erica, Coach Erica Jarnes. And that will complete the competition on the varsity floor routines. And we will cut over to the junior varsity beam routines as they're finishing up their routines over on the other side of the gym. Okay, up on the balance beam for the Bloomington team, we've got Renee Pichet. Renee, again, is a freshman. A lot of years here left for the Bloomington team. Almost had it, just lost her balance a little bit at the end there, but almost had that nice walkover. Coach Kristen Gorman there, ready to help if need be. Oh, beautiful, beautiful recovery. Great job on that one for Renee. Very solid spin move. So Renee gets ready for her dismount. Very nice, very good routine for Renee. Freshman Renee Pichet. Looks like our next competitor is going to be Liz Joyce, and senior captain for the Bloomington team. Great spin move there. Wow, look at the strength and balance that that move takes. Oh, very good routine going here. Couldn't quite hold it, but that won't be too costly. She's got a great score going on these other difficult moves that she's been doing. Good dismount for Liz Joyce. Solid routine. Pretty good meet there. Pretty good routine and rotation on the JV beam for the Bloomington team. So we'll take a little break in the action. We're going to come back with more athletics here from beautiful downtown Bloomington Gymnasium. So don't go away. We're going to be back. We're going to bring the JV section back here for you in just a minute, so don't go away. We'll be right back on BEC-TV. Hello folks, we're back here at the Bloomington Jefferson Downtown Coliseum, ready to see some JV competition at its finest. So we're going to be playing this playback. I've got the illustrious Erica Jarnes with me here to help me with the commentary. So don't go away, grab another bowl of popcorn and we're going to watch the JV rock the gym here. Our first rotation, we've got JV bars. And starting that lineup is going to be, I'll let Erica pronounce that name.
First up, we have Kissy Medvedovsky. So Kissy has what we would call a kip routine. It's sort of a series of kips strung together with some other elements in between, but the base of it is going to be those kips you see on the low bar. Nice dismount for Kissy there. Lots of kips on the low bar and high bar, and then with a flyaway dismount. Just a little step at the end there that she'll get a deduction on, but otherwise pretty clean routine for Kissy.
I'd also like to do a special shout out for the judges tonight's event. In case you didn't know it, they're doing the event here and then they jump in their car and rush over to do the same type of scoring over at Hopkins.
St. Louis Park.
St. Louis Park, excuse me. They don't go to Hopkins, go to St. Louis Park. And then the scores are tabulated at the end of that meet, the St. Louis Park meet, and the winner of the meet will be determined. So Erica, who have we got next?
We've got freshman Katie Edmonds up right now. And as you can see, the girls pull off their masks when they do their routine. They have to be masked up the entire meet, but they're allowed to remove it as they go, which is nice for them. Little pause there from Katie. Flyaway dismount. Bit of a hop, but otherwise very good dismount. Katie is actually a softball player. She's a catcher for softball and has quite an arm.
Yes, I mentioned in an earlier part, did she break somebody's arm sliding into second base?
She did. A girl was sliding into second and she broke her arm. She got a gun.
Wow.
We normally play dodgeball. We haven't been able to because of COVID. We can't touch them. But I'm scared once those balls come out and Katie's on the team now. Everybody better duck.
And this next competitor, am I reading that right? Is her name Sneezy?
Sneezy Medvedovsky. You might have heard that last name a couple times ago. That is her sister, Kissy. Sneezy is a sophomore.
And it looks like Sneezy, exactly 12 months apart. It says birthday is August 2nd for both of the sisters. That's odd that they would have the same exact birthday 1 month or 1 year apart.
Yep.
Wow, good routine for Sneezy.
Yep.
Good encouragement there by Coach Kristen Gorman.
A lot of the girls you'll see are a little bit afraid of their dismounts off bars, rightly so. That's kind of scary to exit that high bar. So you'll likely see a coach standing there for the dismount. They don't get a deduction if the coach is standing there. They do, however, get a deduction if the coach touches them.
Next up, we've got Renee Pichet.
Another freshman on our team. And Renee got voted weakest bladder on the team. I don't think I'd want to win that award.
Probably not a good award if you're a gymnast.
No. All that tumbling.
Renee, we saw, in some of the other events here, did a pretty nice job on some of those other things. She led off with the varsity vault and did a nice job there. Got I think it was an 8.2 to get it started. So Renee is she's a freshman, I believe, yes.
So Renee is one of the lucky ones today that had to be in 2 places at once. So if you were to roll back the tape, she is on varsity vault and JV bars. So right now you're witnessing her one-touch warm-up that she gets. She'll get this, Liz Joyce will get this, and Ava Biken will get this. It is because they competed varsity vault just moments before this, and they have to regain their energy and head off to bars to do a bar routine.
So this right now is the equivalent of a just a little warm-up routine.
Yep.
For both.
This is not being judged.
Okay.
You can see Gracelyn Roy doing vault in the background, and so if you can imagine if this were live, Liz would have just been on vault moments earlier. It's a big learning curve for all of us this year, and the girls were, you know, thrown a bit of a wrench in their normal plan, but they're handling it very well. Lots of positive attitudes. I think in general everyone's just very grateful to be in the gym, even if we are masked up and 6 feet apart. So here's Renee Pichet. A little bit of a bobble for Renee there, it looks like, in her arms, causing her to fall. That's a 5/10 deduction there.
A lot of that could be not really getting the full warm-up in, right? Rushing over from one routine to the other, one apparatus.
Another fall for Renee. So her difficulty of her routine has been knocked down 1 point now, 0.5 for each fall. 0.5 point for each fall. Nice long hang kip there for Renee. Flyaway dismount.
Good landing on the dismount. No bobbles as she steps out into that. That's good.
See a new coach in the picture. Looks pretty good.
In 2 places at once.
There's actually a tiny microphone in that mask. Next up, we have senior captain Liz Joyce. I've known Liz for a number of years now, kind of grown with her on the team. She's a very essential part of this team. Obviously, being named captain is a big honor, and she deserves it, as well as our other captain, Alyssa Jar. Both seniors this year. Things are looking a little different in sports for them. Double kip there from Liz. Back hip circle to a squat on. Bit of a bobble there. And that flyaway dismount. Nice routine from Liz Joyce.
Looks like last on the list here is Ava Bycan.
Ava is a sophomore on the team. Funny. Yeah, that's great. Now, a fun fact about Ava is she forgot her leotard at the section meet last year. So she was changing back and forth with another girl on the team every turn they took. Squat on, jump to the high bar. Long hang kip. And a nice high flyaway for Ava. The judges are looking for that nice high flyaway that you see there. Yes.
All right, we're switching over to the JV vault here for the Bloomington Jaguars, and it looks like first on the itinerary is freshman Chloe Anderson. He hits the running pad off the launch pad and Erica, what move was that she did on the...
That's called a half on. Your hands are facing halfway on the vault, and then you do sort of like a cartwheel motion off.
Okay. I remember the olden days in gymnastics when that was done off of a what used to be called the horse. Quite a few years ago, they went. Was it called the tongue now, or saddle?
It's called the table.
The table.
I like the tongue though. It's got a little bit of a step for Chloe there. I think she added a twist on that vault, so that's good. She ups the value of her routine.
And again, for those who aren't real familiar with the scoring of gymnastics, each gymnast on the vault only gets to go twice, and they do not average the scores. They give the best score of the two is the one that counts.
Next up is Maya Engahom. Nice half on for Maya there.
Looks like she's got a little ankle support. Is she fostering a little injury there, Erica?
Maya is actually fostering quite a few injuries. She's a bit clumsy on our team. She's great. It's funny because she's in a lot of things that require balance. She's a gymnast, dancer, show choir, and yet she is so clumsy. She'll trip up the stairs. She got a bloody nose from tripping up the stairs. She is nursing an ankle. She fell off her sled the other day. Got a number of injuries from that.
She comes again. Maya Engahom.
Nice. Just like Chloe, she added a half twist onto that second vault, so that increases the difficulty of that vault. She did have a step there, which they will deduct, but otherwise a pretty clean vault for Maya.
Looks like our next competitor is senior Alyssa Jar.
Alyssa is our second captain on the team. She is also from Kennedy High School.
Good score for Alyssa. Looked like a pretty clean vault.
Alyssa's another girl on the team you don't want to get in a dodgeball match with because she's the pitcher for the boys Kennedy baseball team.
Get out. Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And a nice half-half for Alyssa there. You'll see a lot of half-halves on our team. They're kind of a good transitional vault. Half-ons kind of segue nicely into flipping that Sukahara, and a half-half is a good, easy transitional vault for that.
Next up, we've got Katie Edwards, who is only a freshman. A lot of young talent on this team. Jefferson, or Bloomington, excuse me, should be good here for quite a number of years.
Mm-hmm. Katie actually took a break from gymnastics for a while. She decided she didn't really want to do it anymore, and she is back this year. So she's had a lot of time off, and she jumped right back in. So it's pretty impressive. Nice half-half for Katie as well. She's been working on upping her difficulty even more to that half on vault, full twisting off. It's always nice to increase that difficulty because you start at a higher value, and if they deduct for form breaks, you still end up scoring higher.
Comes a second vault for Katie Edwards. Nice height.
Nice half-half there. A bit of a hop, so they'll deduct for that, but otherwise she gets really good height, good block off of there. The judges are looking for a nice block, which means your shoulders are doing a push through the table, and you get nice height coming off that vault.
Looks like she had a pretty good score on that first vault, 8.25, so she had a pretty good Pretty good score the first go round, and I don't know if she beat it. We'll find out in just a second on that second vault as we get ready to see Paige Fabian. A lot of good height there for Paige, too.
So Paige is one of the people that ended up having to be in 2 places at once tonight. So that was her one-touch warm-up. She'll do 2 competition vaults now after this.
So there's no score on that one. It's just, okay, I got it. So this is her first vault right here for a real score. Let's see how Paige Fabian does. Very nice, a lot of good height, a little bit of a step out, but very nice vault.
Paige is one of the few girls we have on our team that doesn't compete a half-on entry in her vault. She actually does a handspring, so her hands go straight on to the table, and then she twists a half turn off. Paige is also new to our team this year. She came from club gymnastics and is a senior this year. So she's spending her senior year for the first time on our team, which is really, really fun addition for us. Few steps on the ending there. They'll take a couple of tenths for that, but otherwise a solid vault from Paige.
It looks like she had an 8.1 on the first vault, so again, a pretty good score. Tough one to beat, but let's see what she did. Hi, we're back in the gym here to watch the JV from Bloomington Jaguar team on the floor. First up, we've got Maya Engelholm, who's a sophomore, and there she goes with her routine, getting started on her first pass.
Now, Maya's routine is very fun. You'll see some of the girls do dance moves along with the girls in their routine, so you'll see that throughout this meet. And Maya actually choreographed this routine all by herself, which is really impressive.
Having a little camera issue. We can't quite see the routine here, but there she comes.
And that move is from a TikTok dance that was created for this song called Juju on That Beat. So you'll hear some of the girls scream that out as she goes. As I've mentioned before, Maya's got some background in dance and show choir, and that really shows through on her floor routine. She likes to show off and have a good time with her routine, and that's always fun to watch. Front handspring, step out, round off, back handspring to a finish. You can hear her teammates cheering her on. Floor routines are only 1.5 minutes long, and that doesn't sound like it would be that difficult, but it is much more than just sprinting for that 1.5 minutes. You are using every muscle in your body, and you feel very tired when you're finished with that routine. But the judges can deduct for you looking tired, so you need to fake it and pretend that you are not winded at all.
They also like to see a happy gymnast too, right? You
Yes.
want to smile and look like you're having fun out there. So
One of the categories in gymnastics is called artistry, and so they reserve the right to deduct for lack of facial expression, you know, showing off a routine, having fun, and those kind of things, lack of different choreography. So we always encourage the girls to really show off their routines and have a good time above all else. Next up, we have senior captain Alyssa Jar for the Kennedy team.
I like this song.
First pass. Round off back handspring, back layout. So I have actually choreographed a bunch of the girls' routines on the team. This year alone, I choreographed 8 of them, which is a lot of routines. So this is one of the ones I choreographed. They're all different genres, all different kinds of songs, which is super fun. Gotta love this rock and roll AC/DC tune.
How do the girls decide which music they're gonna, is it just music that they like, that they can get energized to, or?
Yep, you nailed it.
Oh, okay.
They get to pick whatever they feel like they want to move to and be excited about. Now that second pass was a front by Alyssa, and she's been working all season. They've only had 3 weeks to prepare for this first meet, which is just unheard of for these girls, and she was nervous for that pass, but she nailed that.
I see they laid an extra mat down. Is that just for a little extra protection on the landing, or what?
Usually girls lay that down more so if they're nervous about a pass. It provides, it's called a sting mat. It's supposed to take away the sting of a landing. But for Alyssa, I think it just makes her a little bit nervous that second pass, so she feels better when there's a mat there. Good routine for Alyssa. She is so close to breaking a Kennedy record on the floor exercise. Last year she tied it and is shooting for that 8.45 this year, and so her name can get printed and hung up on the wall. As a senior, she'll have 4 more meets to try to get her name up on the wall this year.
It'll be interesting to see what she got on that last routine. It looked pretty good. Maybe she just did it. Maybe we saw it. Here we've got Ava Bycan. Is that correct? Ava Bycan, sophomore.
So Ava's routine is another routine that I choreographed, and as you can see, totally different genre for Ava. She wanted to go with more of a kind of hip-hop style. Great passes for Ava. Jump series. Second pass for Ava. We've got a front handspring step out, round off back tuck.
Wait, she gets up in the air, doesn't she?
Ava usually gets good height on her tumbling passes. As you can see, the girls dancing along with her in her routine. Coach Matt Norris busting out some moves in the background there. So some of these newer floor routines, such as Ava, they were choreographed maybe a week or 2 ago. So they've literally had only a couple of weeks to practice these routines before they had to compete them the first time.
Wow.
Last pass, nailed that one.
She did nail that one. That was a very good landing. Good job for Ava Bycan. Sets the stage for our 4th and final competitor on the JV floor, which is Maddie Bryan. See what the teams have to say about Maddie. She's obsessed with learning and doing TikTok dances for the rest of the teammates. Loves to learn, huh?
Yes.
School or gymnastics or everything?
Everything. Maddie's always showing off dance moves to everybody. The girls love her music. She's got, you're not allowed to have words in your routine, but you can have onomatopoeias and animal sounds. So she's got dogs woofing in her routine. As you just probably heard the first one. reverse pass for Maddie. Back tuck. Now this routine was actually choreographed by former gymnast Gabby Griffin. And Gabby is unfortunately not with us anymore. She just had a baby a couple of weeks ago, actually. So she is plenty busy at home. You can see the girls adding some dance moves in the background there. Good jumps for Maddie Bryan. You can see your teammates having a good time with her.
All right, good job for Maddie Bryan. Sticks her tongue out at the rest of the team. We'll be right back here to show you the final rotation, the JV beam, so don't go away. We got a lot of excitement coming up in just a minute here on BEC-TV. Welcome back to the inside of the Bloomington Jefferson gym. Here we've got our competitor on JV beam, which is Erica, help me with that name.
Aubrey Halpern-Smith.
She's getting the team started here. We've got 7 competitors on this event. Aubrey, am I reading that right? That Aubrey's only an 8th grader.
Yes, Aubrey is our only teammate that is not in high school yet. Aubrey, you may have noticed, you haven't seen her on any of the other events tonight. She's nursing a back injury right now. She had a spasm in her back doing some jumps on floor the other day, and so she wanted to do beam because it doesn't hurt her back as much, less impact on beam.
And again, we asked kind of a funny story about the girls before the meet, and Aubrey apparently got her head stuck in a bike rack in a parking garage.
As you can imagine, the girls don't let her live that one down.
I bet.
Couple of falls for Aubrey so far. On the balance beam, you get half a point deduction for a fall. So she has that 1 point. She fought for that one, though. Nice dismount for Aubrey. So Aubrey actually has 3 connected skills there for her dismount, which is very difficult. She does a front walkover, front flip off the end of the beam. Not an easy move.
And it's more points if you don't pause in between those. You just connect them and...
Correct. The judges are looking for that connection there, and it's actually required to have 2 skills connected together in a beam routine. It's called a flight series, and if you miss that connection, you miss the requirement of the routine. So it's a pretty big hit to miss that connection. Next up, we have Chloe Anderson. She is a freshman on our Bloomington team. Chloe mentioned she got pretty bored in quarantine, as we all have, and decided to do something crazy and dye her hair purple. So as you can probably see on the camera, she is sporting some purple hair for this gymnastics meet.
I thought that was just bad lighting. That's purple hair.
Mm-hmm.
Works well at a Viking game.
Yes. So Chloe's flight series there.
Almost held it.
She does a one-handed front walkover into a front handspring. A bit of a pause there, so unfortunately she's going to miss that connected flight series and a fall there, which is 5/10 of a deduction as well. As you can imagine, a front handspring is a very difficult move on the balance beam. So taking that fall deduction is on that move is not going to bring her score horribly down. Unfortunately, she's had 2 other falls in this routine, so we're up to a 1.5 deduction for falls. Nice one-handed front walkover into a front layout off the beam.
So good job for freshman Chloe Anderson. She sets the stage for teammate and sophomore Maya Engahome. Little equipment adjustment here for a little bit different dismount that we're going to see. And some help there by Coach Kristen Gorman. Kristen was Kristen in your era, Erica, or?
I never competed on the team with Kristen because she had to quit 9th grade due to a back injury, but I trained with her for 1 year when I was in 6th grade, and she competed with my sister, Kristen Jarnes, back when they were both on the team.
Yeah, I remember her as being quite a good competitor.
Yeah, Kristen was a fantastic competitor, great form. She's brought a lot to the team as a coach this year. Her first time coaching high school gymnastics. She has normally been the head of our Jaguar gymnastics program and our Mega, kind of the middle school competition program as well.
Here we're seeing the routine of Maya Engahome. Ooh, couldn't quite hold it.
And there's her dismount. Good routine for Maya Engahome. She had that fall on her flight series.
Coach Erica was mentioning earlier about the Stick Club sign-up sheet over there. I think in the varsity there were 3 of the 5 people that made that, so that was awesome.
Next up, we have Ava Biken. Ava's a sophomore on the team. You can see teammate Alyssa Jar in the background trying to stay warm, doing some jumping jacks.
I thought she was working on her dance routines.
I always tell the girls to keep their muscles warm because in gymnastics you spend a lot of downtime as opposed to other sports where you're constantly moving. So you got to keep those muscles nice and warm. Ava's flight series. Front walkover, back handspring. Her back handspring was a little bit crunched up on that, causing her to fall off. She did get her feet on though, so she will get credit for that skill, and the connection was good. Wolf jump, tuck 3/4. Stick for Ava. Been having some difficulties with those 3/4 jumps this season.
Oh,
nice.
Good connection right into her dismount. It's a little fist pump from Coach Matt. And she sets the stage for, I believe our next competitor is going to be Alyssa Jar.
Just saw Alyssa moments ago warming up on deck, so it's her turn now. She's nice and warm. Ready for her beam routine. Hopefully we get a stick out of Alyssa. She's been conquering a bit of fear this season, I would say. She's been off a little bit longer than some of these other gymnasts because she does do baseball, and she actually did wrestling for a while in the off season.
Wow, nice back walk over. Now, did she get any help there from the coach, or was that totally on her own?
That's on her own, and if the coach stands there, there's no deduction for that. So you can see Coach Kristen Gorman just adding a little bit of ease to Alyssa there. She physically doesn't need the spot, but mentally it's just nice to have somebody there.
Yeah, those judges over there, too, are watching every move. They know if those coaches help them, don't they?
They do.
And if it's a 0.2 of a point?
It depends on the apparatus, and it depends how much the coach is spotting and if the girl falls. But, yeah, it's usually a few tenths.
Oh, almost held on.
Oh, she fought for that. She's been having trouble with, that's a dive roll on the balance beam. It's a very difficult move into her Branny off the beam. You can tell she's disappointed that she fell there. An otherwise very good routine from senior Alyssa Jar there. I'll have to tell her she'll make the stick chart next time.
And it looks like our final competitor here on tonight's competition is going to be Liz Joyce. Senior Liz Joyce, captain. And looks like, is she getting a little bit of, she get a little 1 minute warm up?
She gets a little warm up. Yep, she was just competing on the floor exercise moments ago. Has to regain her energy and now compete on the balance beam.
Oh, it looks like we have 2 more competitors.
We skipped over Renee Pichet. We tried to do our best to make a lineup that the girls that had to be in 2 places at once had to be first on one event and last on the other, so they had the maximum amount of rest time. And unfortunately, we missed Renee being halfway through the balance beam and being first on the floor at the same time. So the judges were kind enough to let her compete out of order and do her touch for the beam and then competition for the beam later. So it looks like Renee will actually be going first.
Okay. Oh, a little bit of a stumble there.
The full turn is a requirement in a beam routine, which is such a bummer because the girls have the darndest time staying on for that move. It's one of the quote-unquote easier moves that you do in a beam routine, yet it's the one that people struggle with the most. One-handed front walkover. Oh, fall for Renee.
Is the key to that spin move to not look down, keep your eyes high?
Yeah, the term we use for that is called spotting. You want to spot something on the wall and keep your eyes up because you want to look at something that's stationary, not moving, and keeps your eyes up rather than looking down because you tend to travel in the direction that your eyes are.
Wow, that was solid.
Nice jump 3/4 for Renee.
She prepares for the dismount.
Cartwheel into a back tuck.
Good job for Renee Pichet. Freshman wonder for the Bloomington team. She sets the table for our final competitor, senior captain Liz Joyce.
Mount for Liz Joyce. There you go, nice full turn for Liz. Liz has a very beautiful scale here. you need 8 elements in a beam routine. And so some of the girls have to add in certain things like scales and jumps to complete that requirement. The rules have changed significantly since I was on the team. We had to do 3 laps of the beam. Ooh, a fall for Liz. And we had a minimum amount of time you had to be on the apparatus. Now it's do your 8 skills and get off. Get off before you fall off. Your flight series, front walkover. Front walkover. Ooh, another fall for Liz. As I've said, they've had very little prep time for this meet. It's unheard of that these girls have such little prep time.
And this is the first meet of the year, correct, Erica?
Correct.
Yep.
Nice dismount.
Great job for Liz Joyce on that routine. And here we are. It's Erica and Jeff Jarnes, the voice of the BEC-TV. And we want to say thank you to all of our listeners and viewers tonight. Have a great, safe night, and thanks for joining us here on BEC-TV. Good night.
Good night. Have a great one.